Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, I See You Wellness. I am excited to be here with you today to deliver an energy update, an extended energy update, because there is a lot happening at this time and I just want to help you sort through it all and bring some clarity into it. In the last week, I have been doing a good amount of reflection, meditation, and a good amount of energy work, which is unusual for me to do that much energy work. And it's because I feel the collective energies there's a lot of density that we're moving through right now. I explained it in my energy update on Instagram. It feels like moving through molasses, but sometimes moving slow is the way to go. So I wanted to jump on and talk about a couple of themes that came up this week as I was tapping into the collective energy. So at the end of this video, I'm going to be pulling some cards for 3 different groups of you. Usually I like to refer them as group number 1 is the group who is just now awakening. They're just learning about intuition and spirit guides and about magic and all these things. They're just coming out. Group 2 are the people who are kind of in between realms. They kind of are awakened already, but then they're still working through some of the residue of the past, whether it's past lives or past relationships, etc. And then there is a third group, which is the group that I've already gone through a lot, and it's now just time to fine-tune the little things and move on into the next phase of the awakening process. So if you stay tuned until the end, I'll be pulling some cards and giving you all some spirit messages. So let's dive into the themes for this energy reading for what's happening this week, and I think it's probably going to be happening in the next month. If you're watching this video and it's not January or February, know that energy and this type of work transcends time. So there is a message for you here, even though you're not receiving it at the time that I send it. So there's a reason why you're here. So listen on. All right. So the first theme that's coming up is collapse of old realities. Collapse of old realities. So this theme is a collective theme that we're all going through as a collective. And so there's a lot of collapse of things, structures, realities. And what that looks like is it's almost like if you wake up one day and you're like, like something just hits you, or you're like, what am I doing? Why, how did I get here? This is not even what I want. So it's almost like the collapse being, I'm getting the image of a train on the track. And so the train is going full speed, going full speed. And at some point they see that there is like a hole, like a sinkhole right on the train and the trajectory of the train tracks. And then the train has to like stop, full stop, because if you keep going on this trajectory, it's gonna be a downhill from there. So the collapse of old realities is not something to fear. However, it can be experienced as fear. Now, in my personal experience, I've experienced that in a fearful way, but also in a liberating way. So it really just depends on your perspective. If you have been unhappy in that life, that current life where you are, if you have been something was nudging you, if you knew something was up and suddenly it collapses, or suddenly you're acutely aware that this is not for you anymore, then in my perspective, that's a blessing. You're now you have clarity. That looks like clarity. Now, if you're not ready to let go, if there is strong attachment to that reality, and ego specifically comes in and try to talk you out of taking any steps to change, then it will be experienced as fear and anxiety. And the reason why it'll be experienced as fear and anxiety, because that's the ego's way to protect you and to protect itself, because that's all it knows. That's all it knows. That's its reality. And that's the ego's way to protect you. So I'll give you a very concrete example. That's something that happened to me when I was working in corporate office, and I had a good career, great career, something that I chose, that I wanted to do. And so for years, I was trying to talk myself out of being like, I don't want to do this. This sucks. I hate everything about this. And so I had my reality was collapsing before my eyes, but I was talking myself into hanging on and making it work. Now, there were some other factors that I'm not going to mention here, but the point is, I experienced so much fear and anxiety around letting this go, because it's like, what else am I supposed to do? Or the ego wanted to hold on to the paycheck and hold on to the lifestyle and whatnot. So while that reality was collapsing, it was a huge blessing. I mean, looking back now, hindsight. In hindsight, looking at it right now, that was an incredible blessing. But in that moment, it can trigger fear and anxiety. So the point is, this is happening. The collapse of reality is inevitable, okay? We have to understand that we are beings of energy, and energy is always shifting. So technically, we're not always in the same reality. We're constantly shifting from one reality to another. We're also multidimensional beings, so we're having many experiences simultaneously. So when you feel like the reality in front of you is starting to collapse, and what you knew to be true is no longer what you feel is true, my advice to you is to just sit with that. Just sit with that and be brutally honest about, is this reality that is now collapsing, is it bringing you the peace, the safety, the love that you need in your life? And if the answer is no, then perhaps you should let it collapse. Perhaps the collapse is the way to guide you towards the peace. So the way I see it in my head now is like, imagine you have, if you let things collapse, let's say, when things collapse and break into pieces, then you get to pick up the pieces that you want to take with you to the next stage. And so if you're holding on to the entire thing, you're like, I'm greedy, I want to take all my family with me to the next stage, I'm going to take all my friends with me to the next stage, then that's going to create friction, it's going to create enmeshment, it's going to create pain and anxiety. So the best thing to do is let everything break, and then look at the breakage and decide, these are the pieces that I'm going to take with me. So that's a theme that's going on. Okay, so next one, which is kind of a continuation to the first one, as these old structures are collapsing, instead of feeding the fear or projecting the fear, this is an opportunity to build a new structure within ourselves. So ask yourself, what is it that I want to feel in this world? And don't focus on the physical, focus on feeling. I want to feel safe. I want to feel heard. I want to feel loved. I want to feel seen. Like, you have to decide what it is that you want so that you can start building a new reality based on what you value and not based on your preconditioned ideas and beliefs. Okay? So the next thing that's coming up is projection. There is a lot of projection that I've been seeing a lot in this past week, is that there is a need for people to call people out. There is a need for people to drag people. And there's a need for people to just have an opinion and keep working the brain. The way I see that is an overactive brain and an ungroundedness. So when you find yourself triggered or you feeling like weird about a certain person or about a certain thing, the best thing to do is to mind your business and see where within you do you feel like that, and deal with that. If you find yourself getting irritated at people, calling them out, and just kind of throwing your emotions at them, know that what all you're doing is putting fire into a fiery situation anyway. So there's no reason for you to dump your stuff onto others. So for example, if you feel like you're not good enough, or you're not good enough for whatever, for the job that you do, and you see somebody who is doing something similar, and you can be like, you can be gossiping about them on the side and saying like, that person is not good enough, that person. And so what we're doing in that moment, we're literally just finding a body to dump our own stuff in. And so there is a healthy way to have conversations and set boundaries, but projection is never one. And even when you think that people are dead wrong, you have to ask yourself, are you stepping out of your business, out of your life, to tackle something outside of you? And if you feel the need to go outside of yourself to call people out or to point fingers or whatnot, then what are you leaving behind that's actually yours and that needs your attention? So this time of increased irritability, increased fear, increased anxiety, the most powerful thing you can contribute to Earth right now, to the world, is kindness, and is just love and just stillness and peace. You know, it's really important to understand that whatever is triggering you is yours. It's yours. I mean, it's a little bit more complex than that, so it's not linear. I'm not saying that people are perfect and they don't do anything wrong, but it is up to you to integrate whatever it is that's making you irritated within yourself by simply sitting with it. Because what happens is that when we get these hard feelings, what happens is it's almost like hot potato. We're like, I don't want to deal with this, throw it away, blah, 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 blah. And it's so powerful when you sit with those hot potatoes and you're like, all right, you can sit here. Okay, I hear you. I see all that's going on. I see all the thoughts. I feel all the irritability. And even though I feel all of this, I can still love and accept myself. So if you're feeling irritated, take some time for yourself. Get off social media. Stop watching movies that are triggering you, music that is low vibrational. You must do something to shift your energy, right? So don't project, because what you're projecting will be projected back to you tenfold. We're in this mirror type of world. So try not to project. Own your feelings, own your triggers, own it, your trauma, own it all. The second you own it, the second it starts to integrate and transmute. Okay? Now, the third theme that's coming up, which is also a continuation to all of this, is there is a real opportunity to anchor who you know to be true, what you know to be true. So there's a real opportunity to really be like, this is my belief and I'm going to stick to it, even though the reality is collapsing, even though the reality looks crazy, I am still going to anchor what I know to be true. So, if you believe that the universe is abundant, if you believe that you are loved and taken care of, if you believe that you are, that the universe has your back, then every time that you act outside of your beliefs that you've been working so hard to anchor, right? By raising your vibration, you're going to yoga, you're meditating, you're journaling, you're doing all this work, going to therapy, all this stuff. So this is your opportunity to be like, I have done enough work to know what's true. I can see the collapse happening, and I'm just sitting here and being like, okay, well, I know what's true. I know that I'm taken care of. I know the universe is abundant. And most importantly, I know what I'm supposed to take action on and what I'm not supposed to take action on. So if this is about anchoring in your new belief systems, you know what those are. And especially if you're in that third group, you know what's right. You know what's right, you know what's yours, you know what's not, you know your beliefs. So don't succumb to what's going on in reality. Really focus on anchoring in your beliefs, and in doing that, you change your reality. Okay, so I will give you an example. And of course, this takes practice, and it takes actually taking some kind of action. Well, I'll give you an example. So last week, around the new moon, Aquarius was like a hard hit for me, because I just was feeling all this like foggy energy. I don't know about you, maybe not you. If it's not you, then that's awesome. But for me particularly, I was just feeling this foggy energy. It was very like disorienting. I wasn't sleeping well, which is very unusual for me. And so I was just like, feeling like moving through molasses. I was just like, what the fuck is going on, you know? And so while I had some moments of just being like, a little bit irritated, I knew the higher part of myself knew that this is a perfect opportunity to anchor what I know to be true. So while I had thoughts and ideas and things that are showing me like the reality is collapsing, or the reality, the physicality is showing me like, maybe you're not gonna have money for this, maybe you're not gonna have this for that, maybe this is blah blah blah. So all these possibilities were available to me. They're kind of like this and this and this and this, and all it took was me to grab onto one and make it my belief system. And this is what I did. I just watched it all come and go, and I definitely sat with it for 2 days, which I didn't have to. I could have transmuted that faster, but I decided to sit with it because I wanted to know like, what is under this? What are the lessons under this? So as I sat with it and listened to all the stuff, I'm like, okay, I hear all this, I see these possibilities, but my belief system says that there is 1,000,001 possibilities. So one of these possibilities is the possibility that everything is happening for my highest good, and I am loved and taken care of and on the right path, and peace is available to me now. So I was able to hold, yes, the world looks like it's crumbling, shit is hitting the fan, these are facts, but the other fact is that I have the ability to be peace, to be love, to be kindness, and to be all of these things now. And so immediately when I held both yes and, when I held both of them, the one with the higher frequency took over and absorbed the older, those negative beliefs and all of that. It just were absorbed by the highest frequency that I intentionally allowed to bring in. So what that looks like is like, I can see that I'm heavy, I feel heavy and I feel foggy, but I also know that I'm loved and taken care of, and this is all fine, that there's no need to be anxious. I can see my old realities collapsing, and I was just holding space for them while knowing that it's all fine and it's all good, and I have all the tools I need to move forward. So that was my real opportunity to anchor what I know to be true. And so once I did that energetically, like, okay, I know, I sat with it for 2 days. Then the next day 3, I woke up and it hit me. I got straight guidance, was like, here's what you need to do, here's what you need to do, here's what you need to do. So I did some ancestral work, I did some candle magic, I cleansed my house, I cleansed my energy field, and I promise you, like, not within like 3 hours, me and my partner were feeling huge shift. And we woke up the next day and it was lighter. And so the point is that we only, when we succumb, when we just let these energies, we just kind of like, we're like, okay, well, I can't do anything. This is happening, so I might as well just project, or might as well just talk shit about that, blah, blah, blah. Then we're letting the lower frequencies win, and that's fine. There's a lot to learn from that. I'm not judging. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're on a path of living with intention, living intentionally, and living to the highest good, or the best version of yourself, then you always know that you always have choice, and you have the tools to change anything, change and shift your energy. So again, it is an opportunity, whatever you're going through now, and whatever stage you are, whether you're in the beginning or you're in the middle, or you're a later one, know that you always have the ability to shift your energy, and there's no need to run away from anything or project anything. Just sit with it, and then when you get tired of sitting with it, you're gonna have to do something about it, and that's when the alchemy happens. Okay, so just to recap, 3 themes this week. The first is collapsing of all the realities that's going on with you. Don't fall into fear. Just watch it and understand that this is your chance to rebuild, which is exciting. Number 2, projection of one's feelings onto others. If you feel triggered, that's your cue to take care of yourself. If you feel the need to go on social media and call people out, maybe turn off social media. Take care of yourself. Basically, anything that's going outside of you, bring it back. Boomerang, because it's gonna come back anyway, and might as well come back with your own awareness than with others throwing it back at you. Okay. And number 3, this is a real opportunity to anchor what you know to be true. Stick to your truth, even if reality isn't matching your inner truth yet, but it will. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to pull 3 cards for you all, for the 3 groups. You can either choose a number between 1 and 3 intuitively right now, so you can just tune in into number 1, number 2, or number 3, and just choose a number, whichever one intuitively calls to you. Just make a choice and stick to it. The other thing you can do is decide whether you're in the beginning of your journey, you're in a transition period, or you're kind of anchoring. You've done enough work to anchor. So wherever you are, pick a number based on that. So if you want to join me in closing your eyes, taking a deep breath, and we're going to call upon our ancestors, benevolent ancestors of light, angels and archangels and all light beings who wish to assist us at this time in delivering a message to help us in our journey of growth and expansion. We ask for one message per group for their highest good. With harm to none. Ashe. All right, let's go. We already got one card that jumped for group number 1. So give me a second to pull the other cards. And there is group number 2. And group number 3. Beautiful. All right, so if you picked group number 1, or if you are in the very beginning of your journey, the message is Angel of Healing. And it says, the angels have felt your sadness and have shown up today to send you healing. That's beautiful. Okay, so if you're at the beginning of your journey, if you're experiencing a collapse of all the realities, know that the collapse brings a lot of healing to your life. This is happening for your own healing. This is an opportunity for you to surrender and ask for help from your guides, from the universe, from God, from Goddess, from the fairies, from the dolphins, whatever works for you. Honestly, just ask for help and ask for healing and for healing to take place so that you can begin to move forward. So this is group number 1. If you're in group number 1, your angels are awaiting for you to receive healing. Your angels have been guiding you to somebody who can give you the healing, who can facilitate this healing for you. Your angels have been trying to communicate with you, so it's time to feel your sadness, because here it says the angels have felt your sadness and have shown up to send you healing. So feel your sadness and ask for healing to take place and call upon them to help you facilitate that healing. All right, so this is group number 1. Group number 2, we got the Goddess of Strength. Stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. Very powerful. Okay, so if you are in group number 2 and you're in that in-between group, kind of like feeling high vibe sometimes, feeling low sometimes, and you're kind of in between 3D and 5D, kind of in that 4D astral realm. And this is about corresponding to the ones who are feeling projection. They want to project their feelings, and they're irritated a little bit because you're in that between stage. So if you pick number 2 or that, then your message is from the Goddess of Strength. Stand up for what you believe. You will gain respect by holding your ground. So what's going on here is that you are asked to be strong in this time. Even though you might feel irritated, or even though you might feel like calling people out, projecting your feelings, be strong. Okay? Stand up for what you believe. You know yourself to be more than just your physical body. So stand up for what you believe. Hold your ground, as in mind your business. Be strong in your own energy, right? This is about building strength of your own energy. So stay grounded, stay within, have the power and the strength to not throw away what's yours and keep it within, to be integrated. So your guides and angels are sending you a lot of strength, a lot of waves of strength to help you stay grounded. I am getting the earth energy is calling you. So if you need extra support, work with plants, drink herbal teas, get a plant in your home, do smudging, work with earth, go to the park, hug a tree, walk barefoot on the earth, even though it's kind of cold now, but if you can. So allow earth to support you, as she will bring you the strength that you need to get through this middle time, okay? So if you picked number 3, and if you are kind of already done a lot of work and you're trying to anchor right now, and there's a real opportunity for you to anchor what you know to be true, your message comes as the angel of emergence, and it says it's time for the real you to emerge. This is, I cannot have picked a more perfect message for all you three groups, because the third group is that you are a leader now. You have done a lot of work, and then there are people that are coming into this work that are new, and they need to they rely on you to anchor certain codes and certain ways of being to help them. So understand that you have a real opportunity to anchor the new you. This is the anchoring. What's going to happen after that is emergence. You're going to emerge. Your real you will emerge. So what I'm getting from this card, your guides and angels are saying that you are in that caterpillar stage, okay? We have the butterflies here, and you're so close. You're so close. This is, like I said, this is a real opportunity for you to anchor what you know to be true. So you're very, very close to getting over that hump. And so use your tools, use what you know to be true, keep going within, and keep anchoring your real you, because that is going to completely shift you into the next stage of your life. So if you pick number 3, remember that you're emerging. Keep anchoring what you know to be true, regardless if the outside reality reflects it yet or not. All right. So that is my message to you all this very fine day. I hope that this helped you. I hope that this brought clarity to your life. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. Which group are you in? If you have any questions, and I thank you again so much for subscribing. Please subscribe and share, and thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and I love you all and sending you so much love, so much light. Keep doing your work. It's getting better. It already is better. It is an amazing time, honestly, to gather and do this work. So yeah, if you need a space to do this work, I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I have ICU Wellness Studio here. You're welcome to come. I have workshops every month, energy work, private sessions, readings, as well as cleansing sound baths. So if you're looking for a practice to cleanse your energy fields regularly, I invite you to come to that. Otherwise, I'll be offering some digital stuff soon, so stay tuned for that. I love you all. Have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon.